Okay, fifth graders, we're starting 8-6, and this is all about finding the area of a rectangle. And we've talked about this before. I've shown you how to find the area of a rectangle. I'm going to do so again really quickly right here. And in most of the problems you have, though, there's fractions involved. So just for example here, so let's say this is a field of some kind, and let's say it's how about 60, this is 60 feet going from there to there, and then this right here is 20 feet going from there to there. So, and I said, what's the area? The area, the formula for area, you guys should know this, area equals length times width. And so for this particular one, the length would be 60 times 20. Well, what's 6 times 2? That's 12. And then there's 2 zeros we didn't account for, and we can add those in. So I could just put A equals 1,200 feet square. Okay, so remember when you talk about area, this is something I don't think I've emphasized before. Area, you're going to use the square of it. Another way you could have written it is 1,200 feet, because the little line like that is a symbol for feet. And then you could just put a little SQ, all right? That's fine also. So area, it's always feet or yards or miles or inches or centimeters squared. Keep that in mind, all right? So let's see here, the example they give us. It says Jenny has a rectangular garden. What's the area of her garden? Well, what did I just say? Area equals length times width. So this is going to be 5/4 times 2/3. Okay, equals, and then we could just multiply straight across. 5 times 2 is 10. 4 times 3 is 12. Now that can be reduced. 2 goes into 10 5 times, and 2 goes into 12 6 times. So it's 5/6. All right, and you can see here that they came up with 10/12, but I ended up reducing it. All right, and they modeled it here because 4 1/3 equals 12. If you multiply those together, so there's going to be 12 rectangles in here, and they did that. And then it says it has a width of 5/4 yards and a height of 2/3. And again, they just modeled that right here. So if those help you, that's great. You guys can use models if you want. But you know how to multiply fractions together now. Often I just think that's the easiest way. To convince me, what have we got here? We have 2/3 times 7/4. This is a rectangular garden, and they give the dimensions, and then it says, what is the area of Mason's garden? And it says, use a drawing to show your work. All right, so again, if the models help, that's fine. You can use the models. In this particular model, the area of the garden, I think I would color in 2/3 here. Trying to do it somewhat carefully. And I can even just get some blue here in a rectangle. I think I can go like this. There we go, that looks pretty good. So equals, it's going to end up being, so that's going to be 14/12. Now what do we have there? We have what's called an improper fraction. So first off, we could start off by reducing it. How many times does 2 go into 14? 7 times. How many times does 2 go into 6? 6 times. It's still an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. How many times does 6 go into 7? It goes once with 1 left over. 1 1/6. What are we talking about here? Yards. So it's going to be 1 1/6 yards squared. Okay. Or I could have even put a little squared sign right there, yards squared. That would also work. So I could have written it as 1 1/6 yards squared. All right. Okay, let's drop down here. Guided practice. If you do not remember the formula for finding the area of a rectangle, how could you find its area? Well, I suppose you could ask your teacher. That's probably not the answer they're looking for. Make a model. Yeah, make a model. How could you define area? Area is the number of square units in a figure. Okay. Number 3, it says find the area of a rectangle with a side lengths of 2/3 of a foot and 1/2 of a foot. What are we talking about here? 2/3 times 1/2. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. That can be reduced. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 6 3 times. So the answer is 1/3 of a foot squared. So 1 1/3 foot squared. Okay? Find the area of a square with a side lengths of 5 over 4 inches. So what are we talking about here? 5 over 4 times 5 over 4. I'll let you guys figure that one out. And so the rest of these, since you guys know how to multiply fractions together, should be pretty self-explanatory. Find each area. Okay, so I was confused for a moment. So they're asking you to find the area of the blue area, I think. So for number 5, this is number 5, it would be 1/2 times 1/4. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 4 is 8. So the answer to that one, number 5, is 1/8 of a foot, FT squared. Okay. What else we got going here? So I'm looking at number 12 again. It says find the area of a square with side lengths. So it's going to be 3/8 times 3/8. Okay, problem solving. Let's drop down to the next page here. What page is this? Did I get the page number? Yeah, 356. Problem solving. Roy and Tom are working on a multiplication problem. Roy claims, is this still recording? Yes. Roy claims that 7 over 4 times 3/8 is 21 over 32. Tom says the correct answer is 21 over 8. Who's correct? Roy is correct. Roy is correct. Explain your answer. How would you explain your answer? Well, he multiplied correctly. 7 times 3, 7 times 3, I don't know what they're looking for in some of these, equals 21. And 4 times 8 equals 32. He's correct. All right, number 15, Emilio needs to know how much area to clear for his son's square sandbox. I made a sandbox for my kids when they were little. Each side of the sandbox is 3/4, so you're going to do 3/4 times 3/4. Whoops. 16 and 17. You guys could do those. Each person on the Ferris wheel pays $6.50 for a ticket. There's 72 passengers. Oh, 17, just going to multiply 650 times 72. 18, higher order thinking. Write 2 expressions that describe, I'm not worried about that. You guys can skip 18. All right. 19. So you're going to divide. It says Wilhelmina has 8.3 ounces of peanut butter. If she makes 5 sandwiches with an equal amount of peanut butter in each, how much peanut butter does she have? How would you figure that one out? It's going to be 8.3 being divided by 5. That's number 19. Number 20, Irene buys a talking doll for $10.66 and some batteries for $4.22. She pays with a $20 bill. It says, estimate how much change she should get to the nearest dime. So the tens place, not the tenths place, but the tens place to the nearest dime. And 21 and 22, you guys should be able to do. Okay, that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow.